All the Buddhas, of all the ages, have been telling you a very simple fact. Be. Don't try to become. Enlightenment is not an achievement. It is an understanding that there is nothing to achieve, nowhere to go. My enlightenment has freed me from everything, including enlightenment. One of the most fundamental things to be remembered is that, whatever you come across in your inner journey, you are not it. However beautiful and however enchanting an experience you come across, you are not it. You are the one who is experiencing it. And if you go on and on, and on, the ultimate in the journey is the point when there is no experience left. Neither silence, nor blissfulness, nor nothingness. There is nothing as an object for you, but only your subjectivity. The mirror is empty. It is not reflecting anything. It is you. Even great travelers of the inner world have got stuck in beautiful experiences and have become identified with those experiences, thinking, I have found myself. They have stopped before reaching the final stage, where all experiences disappear. Enlightenment is not an experience.
I don't know why I am here.
Nobody knows. There is no way to know it, and there is no need to know it. This constant questioning, why am I here? Why am I doing this? This constant hankering for the why is a disease of the mind. No answer is going to satisfy you, because the why can be asked again. If I say something, you are here because of this, the why will be pushed back a little. That's all. You will again ask why. The why is not ending. Once you understand it, you drop it. The why is ridiculous. Rather than asking, why am I here? It is better to use the opportunity. It is better to flower. It is better to exist authentically. And this is the beauty of it. That once you start existing authentically, truly, once you stop all nonsense thinking, and you start delighting in life, once you are no longer a philosopher, the why is answered. But it is not answered by anyone from the outside. It is answered by your own life energy. The answer is possible. But it is not going to come like an answer. It is going to come like a lived experience. The answer is going to be existential, not intellectual. The question is intellectual. Drop it. Rather, be. Otherwise, you can go on asking. For centuries man has asked millions of questions. Not a single question has been solved by speculation, thinking, logic, or reason. Not even a single question has been solved. On the contrary, whenever people have tried to answer a question, the answer has created 1,001 more questions. Who created the world? And it has been answered. God created the world. And then, immediately the question arises, who created God? Or, why did he create the world? When did he create the world? And why did he create such a world, so miserable, so hell-like? The one who is answering you that God created the world must have been thinking that your question would drop. But out of one answer, 1,001 questions arise. Mind is a question-creating mechanism. So the first thing to understand is, drop why, and immediately you become religious. Continue with the why, and you remain philosophical. Continue questioning, and you remain in the head. Drop questioning, and suddenly, the energy moves in a new dimension, the dimension of the heart. Heart has no questions, and there hides the answer. It will appear paradoxical, but still, I would like to say to you, when your questioning stops, the answer comes. And if you go on questioning, the answer will become more and more elusive. Why are you here? Who can answer it? And if it can be answered, you will no longer be a man. You will become a mechanism. This mic is here. And there is a reason for it. The why can be answered. The car is there. In the porch. The why can be answered. If your why also can be answered, you become a mechanism, like a mic, or a car. But you are a man, not a machine. Man means freedom. Why is there freedom? You can raise the question, but the question is foolish. The why, about man, cannot be answered. And if the why about man cannot be answered, how can it be answered when you put it for the ultimate, for God? Even about man, the why cannot be answered. About God it is almost impossible, even to raise the question in a right way. Man is a three-storied building. Body, the mind, and the soul. The body contains only the body. The mind contains body and mind both. And the soul contains all the three. The higher implies the lower, but not vice versa. The lower does not imply the higher. This is one of the fundamental laws to be remembered. If you work on the higher, the lower will be automatically solved. If you work on the lower, the higher will not be automatically solved. Spirit contains all the three dimensions of your being. That's why I say, my concern is your spiritual growth, because it contains your totality. To be concerned with your psychological growth will leave the most essential and the highest part of you outside. And then there are many more problems. Mind is a multiplicity. Mind means the many. Millions of problems are there. If you start solving each single problem, it will take millions of lives. Even then you cannot be certain that you have solved the mind problems. Greed is there. Anger is there. Lust is there. Jealousy is there. And so on and so forth. If you solve one, it will take years and years. And even then nothing is solved. If you try to solve your anger, if you want to grow beyond your anger, at the psychological stage, what can you do? At the most you can repress it. Because awareness belongs to the spiritual realm. At the psychological level, you can only fight. You can choose. You can repress one part against the other. But the repressed part is not dying. In fact, the more it is repressed, the more alive it will become. Because it will be going closer and closer to the source of your energies. And it will be getting more nourishment. And you can repress anger, but it will find some outlet from the back door. You cannot transform this way. That's where Western psychology is lost. Lost in a chaos. Small problems are not being solved. Very small problems. It takes years and years of psychoanalysis. Then too, nothing is solved. At the most you can do only a kind of window dressing, a whitewashing. You give the patient a better mask to wear, but his original face remains the same. When the mind disappears, thoughts disappear. It is not that you become mindless. On the contrary, you become mindful. Buddha uses these words, right mindfulness, millions of times. When the mind disappears, and thoughts disappear, you become mindful. You do things. You move. You work. You eat. You sleep. But you are always mindful. The mind is not there, but mindfulness is there. What is mindfulness? It is awareness. It is perfect awareness.
Please explain right mindfulness. If not a goal or something to practice, what is it?
Right mindfulness is a strange word. First, there is no mind in it. Hence it is called right mindfulness. Secondly, there is nothing right and wrong in it. Hence it is called right mindfulness. It can't be a goal. Because when there is a goal, you are always in the wrong. Why are you in the wrong when there is a goal? Because when there is a goal, there is desire. When there is desire, you are unhappy, discontented. When there is desire, there is anxiety. Whether you will be able to make it or not. Will it be possible or not? When there is desire, there is future. And with the future, anxiety enters into your being. With the desire, you have lost contact with the present. Right mindfulness is not a goal, cannot be a goal. Because when all desires disappear, and all goals disappear, and you are here now, that is the moment of right mindfulness. Why is it called right? It is called right because it knows no division between right and wrong. Nothing is wrong, and nothing is right. All judgments have disappeared. One is utterly innocent. When you see a rose flower, does the idea arise in you, it is right, it is wrong? When you see the morning star disappearing, does the idea arise in you, is it right or is it wrong? When you start looking at life with no judgment, with no prejudice, then you are in the state of right mindfulness.
Be loose. And let your whole body shake, feeling the energies moving up from your feet. Let go everywhere and become the shaking. Your eyes may be open or closed. Dance any way you feel, and let the whole body move as it wishes. Again, your eyes can be open or closed. Close your eyes and be still, sitting or standing, observing, witnessing whatever is happening inside and out. Keeping your eyes closed, lie down and be still.
Existence is energy. The movement of energy in so many ways and so many forms. As far as human existence is concerned, this energy is Kundalini energy. Kundalini is the focused energy of the human body and human psyche. Kundalini means your total potential, your total possibility. But it is a seed. It is the potential. The ways to awaken Kundalini are ways to make your potential actual.
Our mind, mana, intellect, Buddha, mind stuff, chitta and ego, ahankara, separate entities? Or different names for the same thing? Are they different from the Atman or the soul? Or are they one with it? Are they conscious or unconscious? What is conscious? And what is unconscious? And what are their specific places in life?
The first thing is that in this world, matter and consciousness are not two separate things. What we call matter is consciousness asleep, and what we know as consciousness is matter awakened. In reality, matter and consciousness are not different. They are different manifestations of the same thing. Existence is one, and that one is godliness, or Brahman, or whatsoever you want to call it. When that one is asleep, it appears as matter, and when awake, it is consciousness. So, don't treat matter and consciousness as separate entities. They are only utilitarian terms. They are not really different. Even science has come to the conclusion that there is no such thing as matter. As science goes deeper and deeper into matter, it finds that matter is no more, and only energy remains, only energy is. What remains after the explosion, or splitting of the atom, is only particles of energy. And what we know as electrons, protons, and neutrons, are particles of electricity. In fact, it is not correct to call them particles, because particles imply matter. The scientists had to find a new word, which is quanta, which has a different connotation altogether. Quanta is both a particle and a wave. It is difficult to comprehend how something could be both a particle and a wave simultaneously, but quanta is both. Sometimes it behaves as a particle, which is matter, and sometimes it behaves as a wave, which is energy. Wave and energy are behaviors of the same quanta. When science dug deep, it found that only energy is, and when spirituality delved deep, it found that only spirit, or Atman, or soul, is. And soul is energy. The time is just around the corner when a synthesis of science and religion will be achieved, and the distance that separates them will simply disappear. When the gap between matter and truth has proved to be false, the gap between science and religion cannot exist for long. If matter and consciousness are not two, how can religion and science be two? The separation of science and religion was dependent on the separation of matter and consciousness. To me, only one is. Two simply don't exist. There is no place for duality. So the question of matter and consciousness does not arise. If you like the language of matter, you can say that everything is matter. And if you like the language of consciousness, you can say that everything is consciousness. I, for one, prefer the language of consciousness. Why do I prefer it? Because, in my view, One should always prefer the language of the higher, which has greater potential. One should not prefer the language of the lower, where potential is less, and less. We can, for instance, say that only the seed is, and not the tree. And it is not incorrect to say that, because the tree is only a transformation of the seed. But there is a danger involved in this statement. The danger is that some seeds may say, if we are seeds all the way, then why seek to become trees? We will remain as we are. We will remain seeds. So it is better if we say that only trees are, and not seeds. Then, the possibility for the seed to become a tree remains. I prefer the language of consciousness, so that what is asleep can awaken. This possibility should be available. There is a similarity between the materialist and the spiritualist. Both of them accept only one, either matter or consciousness. But there is a difference too. While the materialist accepts the first thing, and is thus deprived of the ultimate, the spiritualist accepts the ultimate, which includes the first in it. It is all-inclusive. It does not exclude. I love the language of spirituality, and therefore, I say that everything is consciousness. Consciousness asleep is matter, and consciousness awakened is consciousness. All is consciousness.